Believing that you're behind in life is the only thing that keeps you behind in life. Realizing you're not behind, truly, logically, cellularly believing you're not behind is going to quantum leap you forward. Now, if you have been feeling this way, like I'm behind in life, I'm behind my peers, I'm behind in my career, I'm behind in my financial situation, maybe it's in relationships, maybe everyone else is partnered up and you're not, or everyone else is having kids and you're not, or you're not where you thought you would be by a certain age and you've been telling yourself that, or you're not measuring up to someone else's expectations of where you, quotation, should be by now, whether it's parents, whether it's a partner, however it is. If that's you, I've just got so much love and compassion for you, and let's have a convo so that we can shift this entire quagmire for you and set you free today. Because just even describing the I'm behind ethos is stressful inside my system to even just talk about it. That's how your body reacts when you have the conversation of I'm behind. I know what it feels like because I went through a whole period of my life where I felt like I was behind. And now that I'm not in that psychological, emotional, energetic loop, I have so much peace and freedom in my system. It's like I can actually breathe properly, and it has leaped me forward in my own life. So I know what it's like to be inside the loop, and I know exactly why, if you're in that loop, why you ended up there. And it's 100% not your fault. When you think about it, from day dot, there are expectations upon you. Spoken expectations and unspoken expectations. Societal norms, family expectations, people that have gone before you where you're so-called following in their footsteps. Side note, you're not. You're here to live your own path and no one else has ever walked it. So you are not a clone of anybody else walking in anyone else's path. All of these things culminate, then you get into peer groups inside your schooling system, your high school, college, university, and you are falling into the trap unconsciously of comparison, thinking that we are meant to somehow compare apples with oranges, meaning you with other people. Because every single human being is walking their own very unique path, their own very unique dharma, their own very unique psychological emotional development curriculum, their very own path of learning, growth. In every area of your life, you cannot be compared. The second you do, it's putting prison walls around yourself. And of course, no one would do that to themselves on purpose, but we have got to stop buying into what your mind is telling you, stop buying into what society is trying to sell you, and start to tune in to what your infinite intelligence inside your beautiful self already knows. Now, why is believing you're behind the only thing that will keep you behind? Well, because you tell me what goes on inside of you when you believe you're behind. What goes on psychologically? What kind of thoughts do you start having about any area of your life, your money, your career, your relationships, your biological clock, your whatever, everything? Whatever's going on for you. What are the thought patterns that you're running? And then how does that actually make you feel? What emotions go with that? Shame? Regret? Disappointment? All the feelings that come with self-judgment? All the feelings that come with not measuring up to society or other people's expectations? Now, beyond your psychology and your emotions, now tell me what your energetic system does. What does your breathing do? Constrict. What does your stomach do? Go in knots. What does your nervous system do? A little bit of fight or flight, stress response. Because I'm running out of time. I have lost time. I need more time. I don't have enough time. And so when all of this happens inside, it's like a throttling. Now, what happens when we throttle ourselves up with the loop called I'm behind, there's not enough time? what happens is as soon as you go into a form of fight-flight response, a stress response, did you know we become less smart? Because parts of our brain that we use for clarity and decision-making and our access to our intuition starts to get shut down because we are physiologically wired, clever creatures we are, that when we are in stress mode, we just need to survive. So our whole system just goes into survival mode. Not conducive to good decision-making, not conducive for clear connection to our intuition, which is our own authority and the only main authority in our life, no one else. Yeah, and so we get really disrupted with the core things we need to leap forward. We need our intuition to quantum leap forward, right? And we need our decision-making center to be able to use this beautiful logical mind that we have to leap forward. Not only that, but when we are in that constricted mode, and I know because I've been there, when we're in that constricted mode, we miss red flags, we miss the cues, we don't communicate as clearly, we don't listen as well, we're not as present. So many cascading domino things happen when we're in that state. And what does it lead to? Usually consequences in our outer life, effects in our behavior choices and actions, effects in the kinds of things that we're attracting into our life, the kind of people we're attracting in, and what we don't realize that we're repelling from our life. The things we want, the better career opportunities, the more abundance, the more loving relationships, whatever it is that you think you need to get ahead or get forward, is all in the field of possibility, but it is not a match for constriction, nor for the paradigm of I am behind and there's not enough time. Yeah, and it's totally counter to our system to stop doing that loop and to sit back into a whole new state. And actually, that is exactly what we need to do. And it is the only thing that will leap us forward, is when we stop believing that we're behind, we finally actually are no longer behind. And you'll notice that your life will start to sprout brand new possibilities and awesome things in all the areas that you want. Now, I want to engage with your beautiful mind for a moment. So pay attention to your logic around what I'm going to say now. It's going to be one way that we can pull ourselves out of this loop. When you say to yourself inside your sweet world, right, because there's only you, yourself, and yourself inside your sweet world. There's no one else in there. You're the only one living in your reality. You're not in the same reality as any other person. There's 8 billion people on the planet, right? We're all living inside a constructed mental frame of identity and beliefs and thought patternings from when we were born to now. Nobody else has the same construct you have. So there's just you inside your reality and this beautiful world inside your mind. Inside that, I want you to think about this. What does your logic say when I say, well, you're behind? Behind what? What are you behind? Who are you behind? And start to pay attention to what you believe to be true. And I want you to challenge yourself that if you ask the question, what am I behind? Who am I behind? And writing it down on a piece of paper. And then really challenge yourself, is that absolutely, factually correct? And is it the only way of looking at that thing that can be factual and accurately correct? Or is it opinion and comparison, which are not fact? They're completely and utterly subjective. So again, who are you behind and what are you behind? And is it absolutely, objectively, factually accurate? Or is it based on a belief that someone gave you or that you made up? Just an idea in your mind. For example, you know, when you're a teenager or in your 20s and you say, by the time I'm 30, by the time I'm 40, I'm going to XYZ. And then we grow up and we get to 30 or 40, or whatever the age is that we made up in our mind, we get there, and maybe that is how our life is. And maybe it's not how our life is. And if it's not how our life is, from an idea we made up in our mind to now our perception of our reality right now, which is also an idea in our mind, we have pain and suffering. And it all stemmed from an idea in our mind. If we don't change our mind, we cannot be free. Okay? So it's really important to look at your beliefs about what you think you're behind and who you think you're behind. And are these expectations? Are they society's? Are they your parents? Are they your authority figures growing up? Are they social media's expectations? Or are they even just your own expectations? That's even more beautiful because they're your own and you can change them anytime you want. Now, I want you to think about one other thing. If you have an expectation of yourself or for yourself and it causes you pain, it is actually just a limitation. So you can think you've got a high standard for yourself or that you've got an ideal and you're not meeting it, and it's a beautiful thing and you should, quote, and anytime you should yourself, we know we want to change that language, you should be meeting that expectation. Now, if that's the case and you have pain and suffering, then this whole expectation quagmire, it's a limitation. Your mind has put prison walls around you so that you cannot be free. It does not mean you cannot have what you want. It does not mean you cannot create the relationship, the family, the lifestyle, the home, the career, the abundance, whatever it is that you want. But it is not going to come about through a paradigm that says, I'm behind, now I'm physiologically stressed, now I need to push and force to get there because I'm not where I need to be and there's not enough time. Right? And I always have a little giggle sometimes when I'm describing these things, only because I know, because I've been there and I've done this very loop. And I have a lot of compassion and humor when I look back at myself doing it for all I knew and not being able to see it for myself. So I'm really invested in supporting you to start to see things differently, because you can instantly shift your psychology. You can begin then to recode your subconscious patterning below that and your emotions and your energetics, and like that, your life will start to unfold and transform differently out there, because life is a mirror of who we're being inside. And this is the power of our consciousness and how we create our reality, is that you can literally make up your mind in a new direction and then recode yourself at what I call the 5 energetic layers within you that are other parts of you for transformation. And when you bring all of that online and aligned and activated in your true power, your reality will start to mirror it back to you. And that's how quickly you can go from I'm behind to, oh my gosh, I've had a quantum leap forward and this is amazing. Now, another way I want to challenge you about the idea of I'm behind is this, because you might be thinking, no, she really doesn't get it. I really am behind. If I got you to go out to the world and find me 10,000 people that are behind you in your perception of how life should be, behind you financially, educationally, health-wise, whatever it might be, you would find on a planet of 8 billion something people, you would find 10,000 people that are behind you. So now, are you behind or are you ahead? And if I said to you, go out and find 10,000 people that are ahead of you and that you're behind, you will also find evidence for that, won't you? Because we're on a planet of 8 billion people, and there's probably, statistically speaking, 10,000 people that are wealthier than you, or that whatever are healthier than you by some medical marker, etc., etc. You're creating your reality. You will find evidence to support whatever perspective that you take. And so you start to realize I'm behind as a story, and you could flip it to I'm ahead anytime you want. And you could change your whole reality by the way that you are perceiving what's going on out there, the way you are narrating it to yourself, and therefore the way that you feel about it and you energetically respond to it are flowing into everything that you're choosing, behaving, and doing in your life. Now, here's a bit of a rabbit hole to add to this conversation, and that is everything about I'm behind. And I've heard this so many times in my coaching practice. I do one-on-one coaching and then I do group coaching in my program. So many people say I'm behind and then list off whether it's money, relationships, having kids, getting a home, running out of time to do the things they want to do. Maybe they're in their retirement years. Maybe they're in this beautiful final season of their life and they haven't done the things they want to do yet. I'm behind, okay? When you talk about I'm behind, it is 100% connected to time. Now, here is the wild thing. time doesn't even exist. And it's too big of a rabbit hole to go down in this short video, but time is a construct that we made up as human beings on the planet to make sense of life. And outside of 3D reality, so when I say 3D reality, I mean human life on planet Earth, because a whole nother conversation is you existed before you came into this life and you will exist after you leave this life. That's a spiritual conversation for another day. There is no time outside of this 3D reality. And so my invitation to you, or my question to you, is, are you going to let time, a made-up construct, run your life and ruin your life? Or are you going to shape-shift it and bend time through your perspectives and have your life be glorious no matter where you stand? Expectations and time. When you shift your relationship to these two things, you set yourself free. Instantly, you set yourself free. The moment you stop saying, I'm behind, the moment you create a new, powerful and accurate narrative for who you are and what's going on in your life, amazing things can start happening for you, because life is a mirror of your consciousness. Life is a mirror of who you are being and how you're showing up psychologically, emotionally, energetically, behaviorally, and according to what dimension of reality you are using as your come from position as you walk around in your life. So as we finish up this video, drop me a comment below and let me know how you're feeling, where you're at. If you've got any questions about this, hit the notification bell so that you'll know when the next video is out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so that we can stay in touch. And if you need more support with this and you're interested in what I've talked about these layers within us and recoding and reframing ourselves so we can break free of these old patterns which cause us to loop in our outer circumstances, you'll find below a link to my free guide, The 5 Essentials for Transforming Yourself in Your Life. You're welcome to go ahead and download that. And you'll find a link to my private coaching if you're interested in having one-on-one sessions to support you in your transformation. You'll find all the details there too. It's been a pleasure to be here with you, and I'll see you again really soon.